Welcome to All About Refacing. It's a Q&A show all about kitchen cabinet refacing. We got 3 new questions for you here today, so let's get into it. Can I incorporate lighting into my cabinet refacing? Sure, like under cabinet lighting or interior accent lighting if you're doing glass doors. Absolutely. It doesn't necessarily have to be done with your refacing. It can be done before or after. It doesn't necessarily have to be incorporated with it. The only time that it does need to be incorporated, or would need, if you're doing a glass cabinet and lighting the inside and you're trying to specifically mount those lights in a certain spot for, spotlights shining down inside of a glass cabinet or something like that. And then on under cabinet lighting, if you're doing cabinet bottom flush outs for the undersides of your wall cabinets, if you're trying to make matching flush panels down there, and you want to add new cabinet lighting, you may need to incorporate that or have an electrician do some pre-wiring depending on the situation. But that all depends on what options you're doing with your cabinet refacing, with or without the cabinet bottom flush outs. And then also what type of lighting you're doing and the electrician, and if you're doing backsplashes, and all those different things kind of come into play. So yes, lighting can be incorporated with refacing, but it doesn't always necessarily have to be done at the same time. So it's just very situational dependent. What is the cheapest way to reface kitchen cabinets? Well, the cheapest way would be to do it yourself. Pretty slim chance that's going to be happening. You'll probably realize it's more involved than what you think. It's not the DIY friendly thing that you read about all over the internet. Other than that, it's like any kind of remodeling project. There's ways to make things cheaper at every turn. You can just do the simplified version of refacing versus a very decked out, customized version of refacing. So, but the thing to keep in mind there, that the cheapest way to do anything is going to be the cheapest feel and end result and look when you get all finished too. So if the details matter, don't try to do everything the cheapest. Try to do cabinet refacing in a nice way. That's kind of the sweet spot. You're already going to realize the savings of doing cabinet refacing by doing cabinet refacing, but don't go into it thinking, what's the cheapest way to do cabinet refacing? It is already a cost saving alternative to a complete remodel. So don't go into the cost saving alternative and then try to do the cheapest version of it all the way through. Unless you're just on such a low budget, you want the cheapest thing, and it's just some fix and flip thing that you don't really care about the details. But if the details matter, do a high quality version of cabinet refacing, not a low quality version of cabinet refacing. There are a big difference between the two. Can you recommend reputable brands or manufacturers of kitchen cabinet hardware? Like the decorative hardware, well, the hinges and everything that I use are Blum. BLUM is what I would consider the best brand. It's like the German engineered, high quality, good stuff. You can find all kinds of different Euro hinges and drawer slides. They're all say they're soft close, and you can find them at all different price points. But there's a big difference between low quality Euro hinges and high quality Euro hinges, the way that they look and function and adjust and all that kind of stuff. So definitely don't cheap out on the internal hardware. If you're purchasing that, the high quality hinges and drawer slides are the working components of your cabinet. So that makes a big difference to use high quality stuff there. And then decorative hardware, like your handles and knobs and stuff, I typically let my customers provide that stuff and put on stuff that they get from all over the place. But I like Berenson is a good brand of hardware. Hickory Hardware is a good brand of hardware. I put on a lot of stuff from topknobs.com, I guess. I don't know if that's an actual brand or just a store. They sell all the different stuff, but I see a lot of their boxes from customers that get their stuff from there. But yeah, that's a lot. Probably the top brands that I can think of off the top of mind would be Hickory Hardware and Berenson would be the brands that I would recommend. Can you recommend? Thanks for tuning in. If you have questions about refacing, put them in the comments down below or use the contact form over at allaboutrefacing.com. Everything we discussed here will be linked down in the description below, and we'll see you in the next one.